So now we're going to move a bit further south and hear from Becky Walker at Oxford HA about the energy efficiency schemes that they're delivering there. So over to you, Becky.
So yeah, we're also a home improvement agency based in Oxford City Council. We have a range of different services similar to Lancaster that we offer our clients, so a range of DFGs and safety grants, dementia grants, small repairs and all sorts of different things. But specifically today I've come to talk to you about our heating scheme. So we offer a range of energy efficiency grants, insulation and all sorts of help for people with the heating, as you can read there. So each of our caseworkers, technical caseworkers or just caseworkers, or the handy person scheme that goes out and visits client, each one of them gives out energy efficiency advice as part of their normal visit. So we have a mandatory checklist where they go out and visit clients and they can ask them about their energy efficiency needs. And that can, a lot of those we carry with us. So if it's something we can just give to them while we're in the property, we do it there and then. But we also have tablets while we're visiting clients. So if there's anything that they particularly need, we can refer them directly into that system, and then those items can be delivered to them. We've also set up a specific case type onto Case Manager for the occupational therapists and social services. So they used to refer disabled facility grants and minor works and all other types of work through to us, but we specifically set up a caseworker type on Case Manager so they can refer through these heating and energy type works and safety works to us, so they can send them in. So we've got loads of different types of initiatives to keep people safe. We do free boiler servicing to vulnerable owner occupiers. We do free boiler repairs, and we also replace boilers if that's needed. And we also do free gas safety work, so checking gas fires and replacing gas cookers and checking gas safety pipe work and everything. And we also offer loads of free energy efficiency works, and they're delivered directly to the person. So we got funding both from RRO, but we also got some from FILT and Gas Safe Charity, and this allows us to give out the free energy efficiency advice and also to give out the measures to clients as well, which improves the energy efficiency standards for all homes. So all of our team have energy efficiency awareness training and NEA level 3 in energy awareness, and we've also been given fuel poverty training as well, so that everybody goes out and visits a client can actually assess them to see if they need help with their energy needs. We've also got a better housing, better health organisation which is funded by the county and the districts, which we all pay into, and they do the retrofit assessments for us. And the council itself has also bidded for some money from the government to Sustainable Warm Grant, which helps people with any properties that have less than an EPC of D. So if they have a lower award than that, there's some funding available from the council to help with that. So with the warm and adapted homes measure, we had to advise at least 300 occupants and provide 75 measures. And we also reply back to the HECA report, back to the government. We also have a stock of winter warm packs. So these are these bags here that you can see in the picture, and in there is a blanket, hot water bottle, hat, gloves, a hot water mug and everything like that. So we purchase a big supply of those and we give those out to clients. So if we go and see somebody and there's not something we can mend while we're with them, we give them those just to make sure that we keep them warm in the meantime while we're trying to sort it out. We also have a stock of temporary heaters or radiators as well, and we drop those off to clients so that they can keep warm in the meantime when we've got a loss of heating. And that's been really useful, especially for hospital discharge works, and that's just a quote we got from one of the clients. So these are just some of the small energy efficiency measures that we offer free, and we supply and fit these for clients as well, usually same day or next day. So you can see there's draft proofing strips, keyhole covers, loft, and brushes to go on the doors, curtains go in front of the doors, chimney things, all sorts of weird and wonderful energy efficiency measures, but all of these are supplied and fitted to clients free. So we also had some training about carbon monoxide, and since then we've also bought a stock of carbon monoxide detectors as well, and we carry those in our bags as well. So we give those out to people who need them. And we've also given out sensor lights as well, which are the automatic lights that you have next to your bed or next to the toilet that come on, the battery powered ones, and they come on automatically when you step out and it's dark, so it keeps people safe, stops them falling. So those and the carbon monoxide detectors we hand out. So we bought 2,000 of those, and we've also supplied those all to social services and the fire service as well, so that they can hand them out to vulnerable people in our group. So this is again just a case study. So we had a referral from Better Housing, Better Health, which is our county-wide heating assessment, and this person had a boiler breakdown that they couldn't afford to repair, and at that point one of the government schemes had finished and the new one hadn't started, so they didn't have any access to the funding to help this person. And this was an 80-year-old lady who'd just recently been discharged from hospital from a stroke, so she was really struggling. So we went out there immediately and gave her a temporary heater and a warm bag, which she was very happy with. And then we used a variety of different grants and assistance to actually replace the boiler for her. So we don't just use one pot of money, we try and combine all the different schemes together to try and help her. So we used gas safe, winter warmth, and some discretionary DFG to fund a new boiler and sort that out for her quite quickly. And the hospital were really, really happy, because she just would have gone straight back in again. So this is just what we've done this year. So far we've done 26 winter warmth measures, 49 gas safe measures, as you can see, 281 energy advice visits and 97 energy advice measures, and then repair grants, discretionary boilers, and Better Housing, Better Health measures. So a variety of different schemes to help people. We've also did a really successful bus shelter campaign. So we had this poster up on our bus shelters, and also on our website, and obviously taken out to community groups as well, but mainly on our bus shelters so people could get this. And it was just really simple, saying to say people, if they're struggling at home, to actually give us a ring to see if we could help, and come out and help you. And it's just to really rare awareness in our community that we are there to help them. So Oxford City Council also organised a cost of living event, which we did in our town hall, and this is mainly to bring down all the professionals and different organisations that are working with people around the cost of living, so to produce some information for clients, so that all the different support and information and grants and everything that people can apply to was all put together in one place. And then we produce this leaflet which we can take out to clients, which gives them all the information about how people can help with cost of living. And then we also did a roadshow, so we went around the city and took the event round to all the different areas to talk to people about how they could get help with cost of living. So that as a one-stop shop, so if people can access all the different help and support that are out there for cost of living crisis. So also in Oxford, I don't know if many of you have been there, but there's an awful lot of privately rented accommodation in Oxford. We've got a very high level there, and a lot of them have serious home hazards there. And we know that that's a big problem. So for quite a few years, since 2011, we've run a really successful HMO licensing scheme. And that's been really useful in finding some of these hazards and addressing them in the area. But we also wanted to address that in the private rented sector as well. So we've just started a new citywide selective licensing scheme, and that means that any property that's rented out within Oxford has to now have a license in order to continue renting. And as part of that, they have to produce a gas safety certificate, an electrical inspection certificate, and also an EPC certificate, which has to be at least band E or above. So we're using that to actually identify the landlords that are not giving safe and efficient properties, because that's a real issue in our area. So we've also started working with our landlords to try and encourage them to apply for DFGs as well. So we've now created a specific landlords leaflet and some information on our website just to try and encourage landlords to come to us and help people do adaptations in their property. And we've got a landlords forum where we meet with them to talk to them both about energy efficiency and also the fact that they can apply for disabled facility grants in their properties. So that's a very, very quick whistle-stop tour of all the different things that we've got available. And that's our contact details if anybody wants to know more.
Quick question from Amy in terms of, so where do you get the funding from to pay for things like the draft proofing and the winter warmth packs?
Various different schemes. So with the actual energy efficiency measures, we've got it through Health Through Warmth, through Foundation's Independent Living Trust. We've also got a council pot of money called the Winter Warmth Funding, which we can apply for energy efficiency measures. And we can also do it via our safety grants if somebody's coming out of hospital. We've got a home from hospital safety grant that we can access. And we've got also got a flexible home loan and an emergency repair grant, and a real sort of raft of different types of assistance on our RO policy. So we've, as you saw right at the beginning, we've got a heating leaflet, and we send those out to clients and professionals, and we say, yes, we've got this massive RO policy, and if you want to read the 80-page document, quite welcome to. But what we're trying to say to people is, if you've got a problem with your heating or your adaptations or repairs in your property, come to us, and then we will look at all the different types of funding that we've got available and find the best one that fits the person, really, because there isn't one size fits all.
So would you say the kind of neighbouring districts around you offer something similar, or is this kind of fairly unique for Oxfordshire?
All the districts offer obviously disabled facility grants and handy person services. They don't have the services around energy efficiency. They haven't really started to do that as much as we have, really. But we all subscribe to the Better Housing, Better Health website, which obviously helps things like retrofit and government funding.
So why is it, do you think, that Oxford do it and your neighbours don't then? What do you think is the difference between yourselves and the others?
I think I've always had a real passion for heating, because I know what a huge difference it makes to people's health. And we're doing all this work around trying to help people reduce falls by doing adaptations and small repairs and things in their home. But if they're not warm, and that can make a massive impact on people's health and cause them to fall and have strokes and heart attacks and all sorts of things. So it's always been a real sort of passion for me.
Yeah.
And obviously going to very different foundation events and things like that, you find out about different pots of funding. So I'm always looking for funding from different places to help the heating. And
did you find kind of senior managers and councillors and members were supportive of that approach? I mean, presumably they must have been, because you're doing it. So.
Yeah, well, it's always a nice thing for councillors and members, obviously, because we're going out there and trying to support people in the community. So yeah, they're very supportive.
Yeah. Have you seen much take up of warm home measures in the private rented sector? You kind of mentioned you're kind of working with landlords around DFGs. Have you seen that in terms of energy efficiency measures as well?
It's definitely started picking up since we've got the selective licensing scheme. So now we're able to they actually have to have them. So there's a lot of publicity trying to encourage people to, but now we've gone from that to more having a stick approach to trying to encourage them a bit more fiercely.
Okay.
to do
Emma was asking about how discretionary DFGs for boilers work. So I assume there's a section in your housing assistance policy that says we will use DFG funding to do boilers or whatever.
Yeah, we've got a discretionary funding grant. So it basically says that any other works that will meet the needs of disabled people subject to agreement by the head of service. So we can write a specific case to our head of service and say we've tried all other types of funding. We know this intervention is going to make a huge difference to the health and independence of this disabled person. Can we use discretionary funding for it? And then we can get that agreed.
Yep. Yeah. Emma, if you want any help with how to do that, then email us info@foundations.uk.com and one of our regional advisors will get in touch. And you mentioned CO training. Did you do the live workshops, or was that the e-training that the team did?
I think it was e-training at that time. We were in the middle of COVID, I think.
So if anybody else wants the Think CO carbon monoxide awareness training, that's available for free via the Foundation's website as well, if anybody wants to do that. And there's also, I know you mentioned some of the NEA training, and that's also available free if anybody wants to do that through the National Energy Action. Yeah. And anything you would say to other people that are not doing this, Becky? How would you encourage them to kind of broaden their horizons and do some of the work that you're doing in Oxford, do you think?
Well, I think it's just basically one of the functions of a home improvement agency is to help people keep safe and independent, and keeping them warm and in their homes is a huge thing around safety. It just makes such an impact on people's health and long-term health in the future as well. So it's a real important thing to do, just as much as adaptations.
Great. Thanks, Becky.